Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday. I'll wait for just a moment for people to jump on. But for most, I believe this recorded video is best watched at your own convenience. So this is available via Facebook Live and on our YouTube channel. So today is Wellness Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, everyone. It has been asked of me to talk a little bit about diagnosis, application of the oils themselves, and how do I know what to use? So those are all really great questions. So the first thing I'm going to address is diagnosis. I am not a doctor. I am not a diagnostician. I have some tools available that help me identify different oils that would work well based off of the electrical current going throughout your body. And then from that, I can tell you what those oils are good to help benefit, or how they help benefit your body, and what things that they specifically address. So those are the tools that I have available. I am not that individual. I'm not a Dr. House, if you're familiar with that TV show, which I absolutely love. I loved working in the hospital or medical environment for 10 years, but I am not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, and I have so much respect for those individuals and the time and commitment they have for serving people and their education that they have invested. So, that being said, work with your medical professionals to obtain diagnoses. That is important. I've had many people come to me sick, and I can tell you what I think it is, but I don't necessarily know what it is. I can be a good guesser because that's sometimes what happens even when we go to the doctor, is they are making an educated guess, and that's why they're medical practitioners. That's not a fault against them at all, but they can only go off of the information that we tell them, or the results that they receive from the test that they have run. Now, that all being said, it is important to find a medical practitioner that will work with you in the use of natural products, if that is your preference. Okay, that is my preference for myself and my animals. So I've looked for, and I have found organizations and professionals that work with me in benefiting myself holistically, naturally, as well as my animals, using that as my foundation and my preventative. Okay? Owning my own small business, I personally could not afford health care. Obamacare was outside of my reach. It was cheaper to pay the fine than it was to try and get into the system. So that's what I did. So that, combined with this natural approach through doTERRA, was my decision for myself and my family. Now, the tools that I have available to me, I have shown you already that I use the Essential Life book through oillife.com. We call this our Essential Oil Bible. And the reason for that is, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Once I have a diagnosis, I can identify from the back of the book things that will help inhibit, cause to stop, okay, inhibit whatever I have going on that I need to stop, okay? promote wellness in an area of something of which I'm struggling, or benefit me, benefit one of my body systems. So a question comes up, well, good heavens, how do I know which body system it will affect? Well, depending on what the diagnosis is, right? So we have many different body systems within one body. We have our circulatory, endocrine, uh, yeah, wow, I have this lovely poster here behind me to help with that. We have a lot of different components to that, and our brain, heart, right? We hear a lot about that. So circulatory system, our heart is involved with pumping blood throughout our circulatory system. Our endocrine system, our digestive system. So we hear a lot of those terms. So it's easy for us to relate probably with the digestive system, our gut, for most everyone, easily. So gut issues. I had acid reflux, significant acid reflux, a number of years ago. I was on Nexium for more than 4 years straight, and it wasn't working. So I met with a wonderful surgeon and dietitian, etc., and we went through a process in 8 to 10 years ago, and they told me that they thought I'd have to have my gallbladder out, and I obviously needed to lose weight, and weight was probably affecting it. I had an absorption problem. I had an ulcer. I had a hernia. So I had a lot of stuff going on. For 10 years ago, I was significantly younger than what I am now. I just hit the 40 mark, so I was 30 years old, and that's too young to have all of those issues being thrown at you. And Nexium wasn't working. It was great stuff for when it worked, when it was good, and when it worked with me. But everybody's body chemistry is a little different. Their level of issues are different. My esophageal lining was dangerously thin, and I was, once that has been um, broken down to the point of no return, you're looking at some serious side effects, serious worse medical conditions, and potential transplant. So that's super scary stuff. And Nexium is expensive. I had health insurance at that time, and Nexium is very expensive. So I had a coupon for $200 off a month, plus I had health insurance, and I still paid almost $100 a month. That was then. Things are different now. Cost of medication fluctuates through the years. So know that. I'm not saying that medications are wrong. I'm not saying that. It wasn't right for me. It wasn't sufficient for me. So I had to make some changes. First thing I did was I worked really hard and made the decision of losing weight, which did help my acid reflux. I went from Nexium down to over-the-counter medicine, which was great, hugely cost reductive. That was phenomenal. And then from there, I actually decreased to even less than that. I went to half of a dose of over-the-counter meds. Now I am on nothing but essential oils. Nothing but essential oils. And so then that takes me to application. So diagnosis is key. Work with your medical professionals. Use your tools on hand, and we're going to talk a little bit more about how to identify with the tools that we have available. And then application. Application is hugely important. And I had someone call me yesterday and say, Katrina, how do I, this is what's going on. How do I apply? How do I know where to put the essential oils? So I've identified what I need to do, what I need to use, and now how do I apply it? So the first thing is how do you need to benefit your body system from, or which body system, and what do you need to do? Are you trying to inhibit? Are you trying to benefit? or are you trying to promote wellness in a specific area, like building your immune system? Okay, I'm trying to promote wellness, build my immune system. Um, I'm trying to inhibit, maybe you're trying to inhibit cancer cells from growing. Maybe you're trying to inhibit cancer from spreading. Maybe you're trying to eliminate cancer. Okay, those are all things that essential oils can help using those three words: inhibit, promote, and benefit. Okay, we've got to be very careful in the wording that we use. All right, so benefiting our body system. So in our little oil life book, all right, we talked our last Wellness Wednesday about taking vitamins and building a solid foundation, and then our Make It Monday was about antibiotics and making our own using essential oils, broad spectrum antibiotic, and mucolytics and expectorants. Okay, so in the back of my book, I can look up and identify. So, say I know that I have cough and congestion, and at the back of my book, we have what is the definition of all of the things. So, the glossary. All right. So, anti-mucolytic. Okay, that's a word. Blech. Anti Anti-mucus. All right, anti-arthritic, antibacterial. So sometimes there's a question of what is antibacterial? What does that really mean? Well, it kills or inhibits the growth of bacteria. Okay, well, that makes sense. So bacterial infections going around, I would want an antibacterial. Bacterial infections. Okay, antibacterial. Antibiotic. Antibiotic would be something a little bit different from that, right? So an antibiotic is what we use to an antibiotic is what we use to ingest to kill bacterial infections inside of our body. Okay, so antifungal, inhibit the growth of fungus or fungi. Could be more than one kind. Anti-carcinoma, destroys or inhibits cancer cells. So if I have an infection, infectious, anti-inflammatory, so reducing, inhibiting inflammation. So identifying what the words actually mean. Okay, that's important. Then from there, I can go into this lovely tool that I have that's called the A to Z chart here, oil properties, and I can look at all of those things. So if I know if I need a mucolytic or an expectorant, or maybe I'm trying to inhibit cancer growth, right? I'm going to look for anti-carcinoma or anti-carcinogenic. And I can find then all of the oils that help with those areas, and all the oils are listed here on the side. Okay, so one of the things that I'm asked a lot, we're in the season of using antibacterials, right? So a lot of people associate Clorox, bleach, Lysol, vinegar, white vinegar, apple cider vinegar, as those are natural antibacterials, right? So things that we can use to clean, to kill bacteria on surfaces. So Clorox and Lysol, according to a study from Vanderbilt Hospital, who did testing comparing hospital cleaner, Clorox, and the doTERRA On Guard, which I use every day. They tested for growth of each of those things, of actually it was influenza virus, if I'm not mistaken, killing influenza virus spores, and then the growth of that infection using those three different solutions, and according to this study, and you can check this out, Vanderbilt Hospital led the study, but you can check it out at pubmed.gov as well. And it was found that the blend of essential oils used in On Guard had zero growth at 10 days. Clorox was the first solution that showed growth, and the second solution was the hospital cleaner. So essential oils showed zero growth at 10 days. It is a solution that Vanderbilt Hospital has now incorporated, as my understanding, into their use in their emergency room. So that's a really cool thing to know. There was a TV special done on Vanderbilt Hospital and the use of essential oils. Now, if you're not familiar with Vanderbilt Hospital, it's in Nashville, Tennessee, and it's an amazing hospital system. So suppose you're looking for an antibacterial. There's a whole list of, I'm going to show this to you very carefully, antibacterial at the list here, and there's a whole list. I can follow that down. You can see all those black spots there. Those indicate all the oils that have natural forms of antibacterial properties, chemical properties in their design. So God's medicine. God gave us this medicine, and so I'm using it to benefit my body and my family. Great thing about the essential oils is that my animals can absorb it. So if I spray it on the floor, they can absorb it and it's not toxic to them. So reducing our toxic load is huge in our society. You hear about that a lot. So taking away the chemicals, the pesticides, the list goes on. So reducing 10 ways to rid your body, your household of toxic exposure. So you want to reduce industrial toxins in your home. So in your cleaning products, pesticides by using organic foods, and then your body, your own body, of toxic exposure by detoxifying. You've probably heard that term a lot. Detoxifying your liver, gut, skin, kidneys, and lungs. Okay? So I can do all of those things. I can reduce all of the toxins in my body by looking at the natural solutions that the oils give me, right? Okay. So looking at this antibacterial, if I'm looking for cleaning product, On Guard is by far my first go-to. Lemon is also very popular, but I'm just going to name off a few of these. Arbor Vitae, basil, bergamot, birch, black pepper, black spruce, blue tansy, and they're all in alphabetical order. Eucalyptus. So the reason that I love essential oils is because from a health and wellness standpoint, not only can I promote, I can inhibit the growth of bacteria in my environment, okay, by cleaning surfaces and topically on my own skin, right? So hand sanitizer, we think of antibacterial. So surfaces in my kitchen, on my own skin, because I can use the essential oils topically as well as ingesting it. So if I've come into contact with people that are coughing and they don't cover their mouth by coughing into their sleeve in their elbow, but they're coughing out into the environment, and so that's kiddos snotting and sneezing and carrying on, I can ingest that as well. So I drink lemon in my water or lime in my water. I can diffuse in the air. We talked about that. Aromatically is the fastest way into my bloodstream. So I can have one oil and have multiple benefits from a health and wellness standpoint. So I can clean the surfaces, I can sanitize my hands, and I can ingest it to boost my immune system, and that's all in On Guard. So if I wanted to know the specific oils, so say I mentioned Arbor Vitae, I can look it up here specifically for the actual oil itself, or basil. People that like basil. You can cook with basil, so very versatile. So that's cost effective when I can be versatile with what I use. Basil. And then it will identify for me all of the uses of basil, what they're good for, the top 10 uses, what it's good for, and what it pairs well with. So if I want to blend it for diffusion, okay, what it's good to blend with: bergamot, lime, litsea, and peppermint. Okay, it's a stimulant. Basil is a stimulant. It's a neurotonic. It's steroidal. I probably said that wrong. Steroidal, regenerative, antispasmodic, anti-inflammatory. Oh, very important. Antibacterial and digestive. So it's good for your digestive system, your immune system, and and for inflammation. And inflammation can be throughout your body or locally. So basil is one of the top things that I recommend for earaches, just by putting it behind your ear. Behind your ear. All right. Well, so we talked about application. I'm going to finish up with application and be done. Application, topical. We talked about that a little bit. Topical, inhalation, or aromatically, and ingestion. So the final things that I'll leave with you, how do I know how to apply them? So if it's ear infection that's localized, I'm going to apply it locally. Okay? If I'm trying to boost things overall, like my entire immune system, I'm going to ingest it, right? Or diffuse, because that's the fastest way into my bloodstream. It can also purify the air. So if I'm using lemon in my diffuser, it can purify the air. So I would look for those purifiers or antibacterials, right, to take care of the air. You can put it in your air filters on your vacuum sweeper and in your furnace. You can use essential oils to help purify the air in your house as you're cleaning. All right, so those are overall uses. Ingesting is overall in my own body. Okay, topically, localized, sanitizing my hands, a cut, a bruise, local. All right, then maybe you have acid reflux. I apply directly to my sternum, because guess where my acid reflux flows? Straight up my sternum. So I apply topically. So multiple ways to use it when in doubt, or if you don't like the smell, you can always apply it to the bottoms of your feet. Your feet are the largest pore in your body. Okay, it absorbs the most and affects overall your systems, all of your systems overall in your body. All right, I hope that helped on this Wellness Wednesday, and you guys have a great rest of your day. And I took too long, as it was, so I hope you have a great day and a blessed day. God bless. Bye now.